Hi, my name is Engineer Steven Sado. I am an environmental and social safeguards consultant, and I had the opportunity to engage with the Special Agro-Industrial Processing Zone project, SAPZ, through a 3 days intensive environmental and social clinic that was conducted in Abuja to strengthen the knowledge base and the capacity of officers of the project, particularly the E&S officers and also the knowledge management officers of the project to be able to ensure environmental compliance, environmental and social compliance, throughout implementation. Building on that momentum, and some of the offshoots from that training, I've been able to develop this environmental and social compliance action plan, ESCAP, for the project. And the idea behind this tool is to help both the officers at the state level and other accounting officers at different levels at the national to be able to track and monitor where we are per time in implementation under different categories. And from this ESCAP, I've been able to identify some major categories for the compliance monitoring. So we have a first category, which is general environmental compliance, and then we have another category on general social compliance. We have a third category on grievance redress mechanism. We have a fourth category on gender-based violence. We have another category on resettlement action and livelihood restoration, implementation and completion. Another for stakeholder engagement and consultations. Then monitoring and of course reporting. So basically the idea is to be able to, and this might not be the entirety of activity categorization for the project, which is why I feel free to make adjustments, to expand or reduce as the case may be and as you may prefer for each of these categories here. So but basically I think that this covers a lot of what the activity category types, under the project maybe, but of course feel free to expand. Um, this SCAP is both to design your action plan, what you need to do per time, when you need to do it, who does it, what do we want, what do we need to see when it is done, what are the deliverables, what shows that we're in the right direction, what are the key performance indicators, things to watch out for to check that we are in the right direction and that we are doing, we're making good progress, right? Right, and of course dates, status, and all of that. One other thing I think would be added here would be the cost for implementing these activities. So it is a complete, action plan tool. So that will be included here for cost. Okay. Um, there are two sheets for this action plan. The first sheet, as you would see beneath this this sheet description panel, the first is the ESCAP, which is the action plan itself, and then the second is a compliance scorecard. So basically, here you get to see what our performance is. Where are we? So I designed this for FCT, but you can always change it for the respective project here, right? So this basically is just as a placeholder, but whatever the state, you can always make the adjustment here, Right. Okay. So that said, let me include a section for cost so that you know, yeah. So let's have cost for the activity and expand that. Okay. So here we go. Let me render that column um, currency or accounting currency. So, okay, there we go. So what I want to do in this video is to explain this layout, to also show you how to use it, and how the interaction between this action plan and the compliance scorecard is. This will help a lot when we talk about um, putting ourselves in check and ensuring that we are not leaving any stone unturned. This becomes more or less like a very close working tool for officers, right? Particularly for the environmental and social bits of the project. Okay, so let's say for instance we have some activities under the general environmental compliance. Let's say we need to do screening for uh, agro-industrial hub for let's say Gwagwalada. Okay, so screening of the agro-industrial hub for Gwagwalada, right? So this is the activity we need to carry out, and what we expect as an output or deliverable includes the screening report, right? Basically, the screening report highlighting um, the risks and impacts, potential risks and impacts for that project at a screening level, and also coming up with the decision as per that particular activity. Um, then, of course, our key performance indicator would be so say for instance, okay, so for the screening key performance indicators, I'm probably looking at um, um, site visits, and assessment. So whether that is done, we need to also look at uh, what do you call it now? E&S checklist. That's screening checklist. Screening checklist uh, is filled or populated. And of course, reports. So let's just to keep it simple for the purpose of illustration. Primary responsibility would be the environmental and climate change officer. This is for the SAPZ project. Secondary responsibility would be the social and gender safeguard officer. I'm not sure if it's gender and social safeguard officer or social and gender safeguard officer. I think it's gender and social safeguard officer. Then expected date. Now, based on expected start date, we're giving ourselves a duration. Okay, we're not just saying it's not just a duration, but then specific dates. Yeah. So let's say today is 25th, 25th of June, 2026, right? And the expected finish date let's say we're doing this within 2 weeks. So by the okay, I think I should. So let's okay, 9th of July. 9th July 2026. That's 2 weeks from now. Yeah. Okay. So the question is, so today is okay, for the purpose of demonstration, right? Now this date is today. We've not started it yet. So there's no, so the completion status is still 0. And the rating is red because we've not started yet. Okay. But let's assume that we're meant to start this on the 20th of June 2026 and meant to finish it on the 10th of July 2026. Now, let's assume that we already started. We've gone past, we've done site visits and assessment. We've populated our screening checklist. We have gone maybe a certain percentage in the reporting. So what will be the status? We have 5 options here. Not started means that activity is yet to commence. It can be a futuristic activity, or it can be, basically a futuristic activity. In progress means some activities already started, right? But you see, here we may say in progress, but we also want to know what is the percentage completion, which is why we have this column to say, oh, we just started yesterday, we make 10%, we've done like 10% of the work, right? This is left to our own discretion, but this also validates this claim. Okay, for instance, you can't put 100% completion here and it's showing in progress. So if you say in progress and then you put 100% here, you see it's conflicting. Whoever is looking at this knows that there's a problem here. Bear also in mind that the essence of this tool is to help you be on point with your own implementation so that you don't leave any stone unturned or forget something, right? So it's not necessarily to, it's not just to for accountability's sake, for it from a third party, but basically for yourself also. So it's good to be as honest as possible also in your rating, right? So that you know where to increase your momentum, you know where to pick up your pace and be able to catch up where if you are lagging behind. All right, so just to explain how these 3 columns, the status completion, the percentage of completion, and the rating, how they interact together. Okay, so let's say this activity we already started and it's in progress. Okay, so I was explaining this. So completed means you are done with the activity, you have completed everything, you have submitted. The activity is literally completed. The 4th is overdue. It means that the activity has exceeded its expected finish date. And in this case, it hasn't even started, right? Or the activity is yet to start and we are post the expected start date. So we tag it as overdue. Let's say if we have not started this activity and this is already to 25th of June. We're meant to start on the 20th of June. And this is 25th of June and we've not started. It is overdue. It's overdue, right? So then the last one is deferred. It means that we have shifted this activity from this time, so it's no longer happening at this time, you shift it forward. Now when somebody is looking at it, when somebody is looking at your ESCAP, what the person is able to see is that when that happens, you don't delete this activity from here. You only move it to the next date or time that you'll be doing it, so that when somebody is looking at this, we can see that okay, it wasn't done at this time because it was deferred. Then you can of course come here under evidence or remarks to tell us why was it deferred. Oh, maybe there was election and so you couldn't visit the site, or some other reasons why you couldn't visit the site at the time, or delay in disbursement of funds for the activity delayed that activity at the time, so you had to defer it to another time. Whatever the case, you can explain it on this evidence column here. Okay, so that mentioned, let's go back to this case study to say we are in progress and we have made say 65% progress, on this particular activity. So what you see, you can see that the progress shade is also moving depending on percentage, and immediately when you select in progress, your rating, your color code is changed to an amber color to show that okay, we're making progress, right? For the cost for this activity, we will state it there depending on whatever the budget for the activity is in-house or as per any other project document. So that should be stated here. And here is to impute additional comments or remarks, maybe something that requires action or that explains any other thing here can be added here. I think that's good. That's clear. Let's take another activity under general environmental compliance. Let's say disclosure of the environmental social impact assessment report. So here the deliverable would be disclosure certificate, right? Key performance indicators will be printing of 21 copies of the report, submission to the Ministry of Environment, distribution of copies to relevant NDAs for the purpose of just describing that. Okay, so with responsibility, the environmental and climate change officer, maybe he has an assistant, or maybe the knowledge management officer, or knowledge management and communication officer. Okay, let's say this was meant to be done in January. Let's say it was supposed to start on the 5th of January 2026. We're meant to complete that within another 30 days max. So let's say on the 4th of February 2026. Let's say this activity is completed. You already have the certificate. So you see this turn green, 100%, and you have a full progress sheet there. So, and the other details, of course, evidence, you've got your disclosure certificate, or I didn't mention solution, newspaper publication, etc., etc. Just for the purpose of describing. So there we go with that. Let's say for grievance redress, let's talk about maybe let's see, constitution or setup of community level humanitarian committees for, let's say, 20 communities along the project site, right? Sorry, let's not just project site, let's say along the AIH for Kawalada. Okay. Another activity, let's say production and training, production of complaint boxes, GRM logbooks, IC materials, okay, let's leave it at that, and then let's see training of GRCs, right? Of GRCs, and all of that. Okay. Here, of mass, the deliverable is that commission of 20 GRCs, production of, like I say uptake and record materials are produced, training reports. So yeah, let's define a particular quantity. Okay, we can define that here. So maybe, of course, let's say you are going to put 4 complaint boxes per community, and you have 20 communities. That's 80 complaint boxes, and for each of the GRCs, you give them a logbook. So that's going to be 20 GRM logbooks. And IC materials, let's say you are producing posters, things like that, to create awareness and use for community sensitization and all that. So let's just say, well, this depends on the number of materials you're producing. Let's just do a lump sum of materials. So key performance indicators included also, for this we say key performance indicators, community GRCs setup, let's say code of conduct, sign, right? Let's say memorandum of understanding, rather, not code of conduct. Code of conduct we sign during the training. So let's say you have a memorandum of understanding, with each of the members, something like that. And for your production of 80 complaint boxes, so here you have your updated list of GRCs, your GRC members, yes, with their contacts and all of that. Here we have materials produced, not distributed yet, because you do that after the training, so they know how to use it. Then training of GRCs, performance indicator, training organized, what you call the code of conduct, sign, materials, GRM materials distributed, yeah, stuff like that for that. Then primary responsibility. responsibility in this case will be the Gender and Social Safeguard Officer. Gender and Social Safeguard Officer, Gender and Social Safeguard Officer. Let's say he or she have an assistant, Gender and Social Safeguard Officer, you know. Yeah. Then expected start date for setting up of the community level GRCs. Let's say that was meant to start on the 5th of May 2026, and meant to be concluded within a space of 2 weeks. So let's say another on the 19th of May 2026, right? Production of our materials. Let's say that was meant to start, say, on the 15th of April 2026, and we gave it for design and production and all that, let's say 2 months, right? So we have let's say 1 month actually. So let's say we have that on the 20th of this 2026, and then we have training of the GRCs. So let's say we have that on the let's say we did that on the 25th of May 2026, right? For let's say it's a single location activity, depending on the size. Maybe you want to cluster it in 2 or 3 so that you can manage the crowd also. So let's say 3, and you are spacing it within a space of 2 days. So we start on the 25th and end it maybe on the 30th. On the 30th, or let's say on the 3rd of June 2026. Okay. Now let's assume that here this for the setup of the GRCs, maybe we're having some delay on that, right? Maybe we're not getting the right responses from the people, or let's even say we've not, maybe for some reasons, maybe there are some activities happening in those locations and we're unable to get this activity started yet. So let's leave it at not started. Production of the materials, we can go on with that. As a matter of fact, this completed, so we can have that there. Then training, this not started also because we've not even set up yet, so we have that. So just just for the purpose of illustration, I'll keep it at this. Then of course reporting, supposed to be having your monthly reports, right? Monthly reports, quarterly reports. I'm just giving this as illustration, so you can go on again. What's the expected outcome and all of that? Okay, who do you submit to and all that? Okay, and cost, of course, and other information. So at a glance, you can see once you diligently populate this, it helps you to keep tabs with what you need to be doing part time, where you are, which is lagging, which is in progress. So it helps you to visualize your progress, literally. But as interesting as this looks, what gives you a straight short picture at visualizing your progress, your performance, is your compliance scorecard. Let's go to sheet 2. So all the information we'll be filling here in the action plan reflects here because this is tied to that, right? So I've locked this page, so it won't be, you can't really do anything here because this is scorecard, right? So it's not for the officers to interact with or alter this scorecard, but for them to see at a single glance what is our performance like, how well are we doing. So you can see that, for instance, so you may have now the reason why. So let me take this out. Let me take all of this out. just to demonstrate this to you. So I'm taking that out, right? So you will notice that under general compliance, it was green before I took those things out because you had a number of activities that were still red compared to what you had done. Oh, you've done a couple of things, but all of these activities are still red. I mean, they are still, uh, of course. So it will take an average of your performance completion to be able to give you your overall scorecard, right? So, but I took this out here, so just for the purpose of demonstration. So we have two activities, and of those two activities, one is 100% under general environmental compliance. Of those two activities, one is 100% completed, one is at 65% completion. So when we come to our compliance scorecard for general environmental compliance, as you can see here, you will notice quickly that our average completion or performance for a general environmental compliance is 83%, and that gives us a good rating, right? And basically that's how this works. It's a composite, it's an aggregate of whatever has happened. What are you doing in at your action plan level compared to what you need to be doing, right? So that we don't celebrate early for some wins and forget the volume of what still needs to be done. So that just keeps us in check and helps us to continue, working. So and you'll see that also here for the grievance redress mechanism. All these other ones are zeros because we didn't fill any activity there. We didn't populate that section. So you would see the overall percentage. So while we have 83% here and it looks interesting, when you look at your overall compliance, ENS compliance performance across all of these components or subcategory or categories as we have listed here, when you compare that with an isolated performance, you would see that we are really we still have a lot to do. So there's no need to start celebrating too early. And I really think that this will go a long way to help, projects like yours, to continue to ensure a good tracking of activities and all. So look at this chart, right? It just tells you, on environmental compliance, which is A, on general environmental compliance, which is A, as you can see here, we're not doing badly at all. We're doing pretty well. We have not done anything for general social compliance. Maybe we have forgotten that we're supposed to be doing activities. We have things to do there. We have commitments in that area too. Maybe we have forgotten. So this reminds us, we've not done anything around, no activity around the gender-based violence, no activity for the resettlement action plan or livelihood restoration. We've not really done so much around stakeholder consultation, right? Or we've not reported anything that we've done, right? It's one thing to do an activity, one thing to report it and populate this something here. So this basically is a tool that I've developed to see how to help officers across different locations, build a stronger compliance and follow through on activities that need to be done per time and when it should be done. One interesting thing is that we can host this on a live dashboard that allows us to continually visualize wherever we are. So even if, say, a national office needs to see what's happening in, say, maybe Kaduna, then they really need not reach out to the officer in Kaduna. They can just go to that live dashboard and we can see where Kaduna is, right, on the ENS performance, based on their action plan, right? So basically, this is I think that this will go a long way to help us achieve more for environmental and social compliance on our projects. And again, I've tagged this ESCAP, Environmental and Social Compliance Action Plan. do hope that it goes a long way to help us. Thank you.